Hi guys, welcome to Math 191, Calculus 2. My name is Eduardo Barajas and I will be your instructor this semester. Another COVID edition semester. So it's an online class with some flexible designation to it. But that's just a technicality. We're basically an online class. So with this video, I'm going to cover all the basic information that you need for the class. Hopefully, I'll answer most of your questions. So let's get right to it. The first thing is let's go through the syllabus, and then I'll show you where you can get the syllabus as well in this video. Let's go through it. This is single variable calculus 2, spring semester. These are my two email addresses that you can use to contact me. There's the school one, so ebarajas@elcamino.edu. And I also have another personal one that I use for work, which is my full name, eduardo.javier.barajas@gmail. Why do I have two? Well, because the school email sucks. The server is really small. You can't, like, they put a lot of restrictions on the type of attachments you can put. The size of the attachments is limited, as well as the overall space that they give me on the server. It gets full really quickly. So if everybody in class starts emailing me PDF files or something, it'll very quickly become overwhelmed, and then I can't use it anymore. I have to use an alternate email as well. So I'll explain what I use this for. This is really just to deliver your work to me in PDF formats. That's what that's mostly for. But also the textbook, I have it in PDF format, and I can provide it for anybody that wants it. But again, it's big, and the school servers won't handle it. So you'll have to request it through my Gmail account if you want it. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Anyway, but for actual communication, if you wanna contact me, the best way to do it would be to go through the school one. It's the one I check most often. So any questions or comments, or if you want to set up a meeting with me for any reason through Zoom, then send me an email here, the school email, right? So school email for contact, the personal email to send me files. That's really what we're doing. Okay, so office hours are Tuesdays from 11:30 to 2 p.m. And Wednesdays from 8 to 9 a.m. And then again from 11:30 to 1 p.m. So these are times when I will be available for anybody to just drop by on Zoom and ask any questions or anything at all. I'll again show you how you log in to Zoom and where you can find me. Okay, moving on. So this is a 5-unit course. Hopefully you should have completed successfully Calculus 1. So we're just going to pick up where we left off there. So this is going to be focusing on integrals. So hopefully in Calculus 1, you worked on limits, then you worked on derivatives, and maybe finished it off by starting to introduce integrals. So that's where we're going to pick up things here in this class. So anyway, I'll show you where you can get your own syllabus, your own copy of the syllabus, and you can go through this list of various concepts that we're going to cover in this class. Okay, so let's just get to the more important things for you. There'll be 5 exams. We're going to keep it nice and simple. 5 exams, each worth 20% of your grade. And then your final letter grade will be determined by the standard scale of 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, 70 to 80 is a C, 60 to 70 is a D, anything below 60 is an F. Okay, your textbook. So our textbook is going to be Calculus Early Transcendentals by James Stewart. And I don't know if there's another edition, but we're working on the 8th edition is the copy that I'm working with. There might be a newer version out there. I have the PDF copy of the textbook, and I'm willing to share it if you want to. Though it's, I think, easily found out there. So if you just want to Google the textbook here, James Stewart, Calculus, Early Transcendentals, 8th edition, PDF. You'll probably find it out there. If not, send me a request. So again, we have to avoid the school servers because the file is too big. It's not going to work. So if you want me to email you the textbook, then you need to send me an email to this personal one, the Gmail address. And all you have to do is on the subject line put, please send me a copy of our textbook, Calculus 2, Math 191. So make sure you put the class in there, Calculus 2 or 191, something, so that I know which one, which book you want. And make sure you do it from an email server that's not the school one. So go to your own personal Gmail or whatever other email account you have out there and send it through there. Hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't, the file is a little large. If it doesn't work, then we'll figure out some other thing. I also have Dropbox, so if you want to use Dropbox, we can find some way to get it to you. Otherwise, like I said, you could just Google it and you'll probably find it. If you want to buy the book, that's fine. Pretty expensive, but some people like having it. That's fine. You can also rent the book if you want to. You can also share books with somebody if you have that as an option. But we are not using any kind of online learning management systems. You don't have to do your homework online or anything. So just a plain old copy of the textbook is fine. You're going to be doing your work written by hand, so you don't really need anything fancy. Okay, all right, hopefully questions are cleared up about that. Oh, and this is what it looks like, by the way. So here's the cover for it. James Stewart Calculus, or 8th edition, Early Transcendentals, PDF copy. And it's about 0.1.5 gigs, I think. So you have to be careful about the size of the attachment. Okay. All right, so hopefully I have addressed all your questions about that. TI-84 graphing calculators. Please note that you will not be allowed to use a calculator application from a phone on an exam. Okay, so this is a leftover from the good old days when we, had in-class learning and in-class exams. You do get to use a TI calculator in certain homework examples. It's kind of required to have the TI calculator. But you still have to demonstrate all your work, by hand, and really show every little step when you do your exams. So unless I specify this question is a graphing calculator question, just give me the answer. Unless I specify that, then it's not okay for you to say, well, I just typed it in my calculator and that's how I got the answer. That's not going to give you any credit. Okay, so you have to learn how to do everything by hand. You can use the calculator for certain homework problems. It specifically says use a calculator to solve this. And also you can always use it just to confirm your work, just to verify that what you're doing works out. And at this stage, we're absolutely assuming that you know basic algebra and basic arithmetic and that, so you don't have to show your work for that. If we have a couple of fractions that need to be added, for example, I don't expect you to write down the work of common denominator and this and that. I mean, unless you want to, but I wouldn't penalize you if you skipped that part of it and you just did the arithmetic on your calculator. That's okay. But the other stuff, the content we're learning, you have to, demonstrate the work for that. Okay. Other online resources, Khan Academy is fantastic. I think most people have had experience with that. And there's also another one that's similar, an organization called, or a site called mathtv.com. Very similar concepts of recording lectures and posting them for people to watch. They're very professional, unlike my sad little videos on here. So they have good editing and professional directors and scripts and the whole thing. So they do a much better job than me, admittedly. So please take advantage of whatever resources you can find. Try them out, see if you like how they've done things. I think The differences are subtle. They kind of took a slightly different approach at providing videos for people. So check them out. Okay, the exams. Like I said, there's going to be 5 exams, 20% each. You can't miss any of them. When the exam time comes, you will be given a 24-hour window of opportunity to complete it. So you don't have to sit down and do it at a specific time, but I will be giving you guys a 24-hour window of opportunity to get it done. I know that it's an online class, and one of the reasons I don't like online classes is because it makes it very difficult to confirm that people are actually following rules. But we are in a global pandemic, and we have to be here, right? So we got to do the best we can. I got to trust that you're going to follow the rules. So these tests are intended to be of your own. These tests are intended for you to do by yourself on your own with no help from anybody else, and you're not supposed to be using any resources that I don't allow. So no internets, no tutors, no asking people for help, no collaborating, no sharing work, none of those things. So an individual attempt. Okay, so you'll be given about a 24-hour window to complete your exam. Your exam will be provided to you. It should take about 2 hours or so to complete the exam. Um, Keep in mind as you're doing this that your goal on the exam is not to find the answers to the questions and give me the answers. Your goal is to, first of all, find the answers, but then most importantly, convince me that those are the right answers. I need to be convinced. You need to show me every little step and justify how you go from the first line, the original question, to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. Right? So I'm going to be even more diligent about checking those little steps because we're in this online environment. In a classroom, a regular classroom setting, I would cut people a lot of slack if there's a couple things that got skipped. Maybe I go, oh, okay, well maybe you just kind of did them in your head or something. But in this kind of an environment, since you're given so much time to do it, I really expect the expectation is really high. The bar is really high. I expect beautiful exams to come in with really neat, clear solutions and every little step explained throughout. So if there's something that got skipped, I'll just assume that you don't know it or something and you won't get credit. So make sure you do a really nice job of really detailing out your solutions. Okay, homework. Homework is optional but strongly recommended. So I'll show you where your homework exercises, your recommended homework exercises are on Canvas. I strongly recommend that you do them, uh, but of course there will be some people that choose not to, and that's fine. You won't get penalized for not doing them, but you will receive a reward for doing them if you choose to do them and choose to do them well. Okay, so here's the way it works. If you choose to do the homework, then when we take our exam, you turn in your work. I will evaluate it, and I will decide whether it merits bonus points or not. I will award it somewhere between 0 to a maximum of 10% points credit on the exam. Okay, so for example, here's a nice little example of what I mean. Let's say you take an exam and a student earned 114 points out of 150 points. Like maybe there was 15 questions, each question was 10 points, for example. And so this student earned a 100 out of 114 divided by 150. That turns into a 76% on the exam. But if they turned in if they turned in homework, if it was really well done, detailed, not just copying the answers off the back of the book or something, really worked out, neat, organized, and I feel this student merits some points, I will grant some points, some bonus points. If they did a really nice job and completed everything, then I will give them a maximum of 10%. So this student would then have their grade on that exam jump from 76% to 86%. So this would be the percent I would use to calculate their class grade. That would be their final score for that exam. Okay, so that's how that bonus homework will work. So if you don't turn in the homework, that's okay. You don't have to, but that means that your grade will be completely determined by your exam scores, and you won't be penalized for not doing the homework, but you also won't be rewarded. Also, keep in mind that this is a bonus. These are bonus points. I don't have to give you anything. And if you do a terrible job of submit with the work that you submit, then I don't have to give you anything. So just simply copying the questions and copying the answers that are found in the back of the book or on Chegg or anything, that's just not going to be enough. You need to really genuinely attempt each exercise and do each problem with the detail and provide the justifications that's needed in each example. Okay. Okay. So hopefully that's cleared up here. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Um, Keep in mind that there is a lot of homework. This stuff is hard, and it's expected that you should put in about 2 hours worth of homework for each unit. This is a 5-unit class. So you should expect to do at least 10 hours worth of homework for this class each week minimum. And that entirely depends on you. Like some people are really fast and they're pretty good in math. It just kind of comes naturally. So maybe they might finish much faster. And some people have always, struggled a little bit with math. It takes a little more time. So it might take you a little bit longer. And that's just for the homework. On top of that, you still have to calculate the several hours you'll spend watching my videos, of course, or other videos, or coming to my office hours. Or coming to my office hours to meet with me or anything like that, right? So there's a pretty sizable time commitment for this class. So make sure you keep that in mind. It's easy to take on a bunch of classes at the beginning of a semester, but then you can get overwhelmed. So please keep that in mind. Okay, hopefully I've answered your questions about homework, right? It's optional, but strongly recommended. Homework will all be handwritten, so you're going to write it all out, and that's what you're going to submit. I'll cover that in a little bit. So there isn't an online learning mechanism or anything like that. The textbook is available online. I know it's easy to find it, but if you can't find it, then email me to that Gmail account, and all you have to say is, please send me the textbook for calculus, and make sure that you send me that email from a non-school server, not the El Camino one at least, and I will respond to that with the textbook. Okay, calculators are allowed, but in an in-class setting, I wouldn't let you use the calculator during the test. But since we're in this online environment, I really can't specifically say you can't use a calculator since I have very little control. But I do demand that everything be written out and explained and justified on your exams. So simply putting, I did on my calculator, that's how I got the answer, is not going to be good enough in most cases. Okay. 5 exams. Okay, so I think I covered all the basics about the syllabus. So let's move on to Canvas. So hopefully you've all been familiar with Canvas now. So let me... Okay, so go to elcamino.edu. Here's the front page of our school. And if you go over to where it says Canvas right here, that's where you're going to go in, Canvas. And then you're going to click Canvas. So right off the bat, if you have trouble with this, if this isn't working for you, there's a help desk right here. So click on here, and I think there's like a little form. You fill out this little form, student ID, semester, describe your problem, and someone will get back to you to help you figure out why you're not able to log on to Canvas. Okay, so use that resource if you need it. So next, click on the Canvas. That'll take you here. You're going to need your username and password, the same one you use for your email or to log into myecc.edu. That's the wrong one. Okay, so then you get to this point. Again, if you're having trouble, but you at least got to this stage, there should be a help me here. So if you are having issues with this part of the site, you can click on here and gives you more information about who to contact and what to do, how to get help. Okay, next you're going to click on here where it says courses. And then here are all your courses through Canvas. These are all the ones I have. For us, we specifically want to work with this one. Spring Semester 2021 Math 191, Section 0898. So that's us. Click there. And here is the Canvas page for the Canvas shell for our course. So make sure you're in the right one, 191 Section 0898. So this is the home page for it. On here, again, you'll find my school email address as well as the personal one for Gmail, right? So I think many of you initially want to send me an email through here about the textbook, right? So use this email and make sure your email that you use is not a school one, or let me know one that isn't a school one so that I can send you the textbook if you need it. Here are my office hours: Tuesdays from 11:30 to 2, and then Wednesdays from 8 to 9, and then again from 11:30 to 1. If you want to see me, if you want to drop by with any questions, you can see me during those times. So you don't have to ask for special permission or anything. That I will always be there. Well, I shouldn't say permission. You don't have to ask to set up a meeting or anything. I will just be available during those times. And then our class. So our class is an online class, but from time to time we might meet in person or meet up through Zoom. And so when we are going to have some sort of class meeting, then I'll put it on here. So I put the first day of class just because there might be some people that are a little lost and maybe still have questions or whatever issues might appear. So I'll just be available on the first day of class, and our class technically meets from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. So I just put on here that we will be having class on Zoom on Monday. Now, if you have other engagements or something you can't meet, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything we do will be recorded and posted on YouTube. If there's anything important that you've missed or anything, that's how you'll get access to the information. So it's not really required meetings. None of the meetings we have are required meetings. Everything will be posted online, and you'll be able to watch it at your own time. Okay. So when you want to have a meeting, so let's say it's a Tuesday, 11:30. You want to see me. You got to go down here to where it says Tech Connect Zoom. And then if a meeting is already going on, there will be a little button. They changed the face of this, so we're going to have to play around with it for a little bit. Currently time zone. Okay, I'm not really sure what your end looks like and how it's gonna play out, but there should be a little thing that says meeting is in play, please join meeting or something like that. That's how you'll get it. If we're having trouble, if you don't see a join meeting or something on here, if it looks a little strange, then you can just send me an email and say I'd like to join the meeting, and I'll send you a link to the Zoom meeting. Okay, so for office hours, you can just log into Canvas, go right down here to Tech, this Tech Connect Zoom thing, and we'll be able to log in through there. Otherwise, I'll post, maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll put the meeting ID and password for the office hours. I'll put it on here maybe. And then for the class meeting, same thing. You just log into Canvas during these times and go in here. Right? So to be clear, we do not meet on Mondays and Wednesdays. Like we don't meet every Monday and Wednesday throughout the semester. We're hardly going to meet on any Monday and Wednesday during the semester. But if we want to meet during those days, then we have that option. So if you guys email me, if I get a lot of people interested in explaining something that didn't make sense in the video or going over some problems or something like that, if I get feedback from you guys that you want to meet with me, then we have this as an option. Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 11:30 should be a time that you guys are available. Because you signed up to this class with this Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 11:30, it's sort of assumed that you are available during those times, so we can set up a class meeting during those times and go over something at those times. So if I get feedback from you guys that you want to go over something, let me know. Let's say 10 students everybody tells me that they want to go over some really hard example from the homework or something. I'll come on here and I'll put on here, we'll have a meeting and it'll be Wednesday, February 17th, so that if you want to join us, great. Like I said, they're all optional, so I'll just record whatever exercises we worked on or whatever it is we did, and I'll upload it to YouTube as well. So don't stress out if you're thinking, oh, I can't make it. That's fine. If you can't make it, you can make it. It just gives us a little bit of flexibility. It's just a nice benefit because, these office hours, I just kind of came up with them. I don't know if they're convenient for you, if they're not convenient for you. So it just makes it like a nice option that we have a scheduled time, days and times where people should be, the majority of you should be available. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. This is an online class. All lectures are online, but if we need to meet, it will be on a Monday or a Wednesday from 9 to 11:30. If we need to meet, or if you guys request the meeting, or if I choose that we need to meet, I'll put it on here when we're having a meeting. Try and put it, give you a few days in advance notice so that you can see that there's a meeting coming up, as well as like an email or something. If you can meet, great, and if you can't, then that's fine. Whenever we do meet like that, I will be recording it and uploading it to YouTube. And then again, don't expect too many of these. I don't think there'll be too many unless there's something really important and something I think needs to be shared with everybody. Okay, so hopefully those questions are answered. What else is important? So there's only a few things that I use on Canvas. So most of it is, or a lot of it is driven by announcements. So go on to announcements. Right here, you'll see our homework exercises, the suggested homework exercises that you can choose to do if you want to try and get that optional bonus on each exam. Otherwise, if it looks really easy to you, I know some of you guys have already had calculus before, so you can just kind of fly through some of these. But if you choose to do it, then these are the recommended exercises. So you do your homework by hand, and then you're going to submit it to me. I'll talk about how to do that in a little bit. Okay, and so other things are driven by here. So go to announcements. On here you will see your scores. When you turn in your exams, I'll create a little table that has scores. The reason I do it through here as opposed to the grade features in someplace else is because I want more detail. So when you receive your score for your first exam, you're not just going to get a total. You're going to get a breakdown of how many points you got for each individual part of the test so that you can go through it yourself and figure out where did you get points and where were you missing points, and maybe you feel like you deserve more points here or there or something. That way you can compare it with the solution keys and be able to determine if you feel you deserve more points. Set up a meeting with me, we'll go over your test, that kind of thing. So announcements, that's where your test scores are going to come to you in the form of a big table. You'll need your student ID. Everything gets posted based on the student ID. And then also I'll keep like a little running, grade, current grade, but it should be really simple in this class. There's only 5 exams, 20% each, right? Okay, so announcements are posted on here. Now, I wouldn't really need that. You don't really need that. If you want the syllabus, click on here. And then here's where you'll find a little link to download the PDF copy of the syllabus that I went over a little bit ago. So that's where you get the syllabus. And then exams and homework. So the other big part of this class is to do your exams, your homework. So you're going to go over here where it says modules. And I left this up here so it can be like a little example. So I'll take these down because these aren't really pertinent to us at this point, but it's a nice little sample of what to expect. So the little click on the modules and it'll say test one on here. You click on here, and this is where the test will be delivered to you. So it'll be a little link here for you to download the test. Some instructions. Remember, these are individual effort only. You're not allowed to cooperate, collaborate, or share anything with anyone. I consider that cheating. My expectation is that you either download it and watch it and see it on your computer screen. You don't have to print it, but if you want to, some people like to print it, that's fine. So you can download it and print it, or you can just download it and see it through your computer. And then on your own piece of paper, you're going to work out all the solutions for each one of those problems. Work them all out in nice detail, right? Remember, I'm going to be very, very diligent about checking every little step. Don't skip anything. If you skip it, I'll just assume you don't really know it. Okay, so do all your work on separate pieces of paper. And when you're done, you're going to take pictures of your, well, okay, if you have a document scanner, you can use your document scanner to turn it into a PDF file. One single PDF file for all your work. I don't want 15 different individual PDF files showing, one for each exercise. That's going to be a nightmare. I need one single PDF file that has all of your work, however many pages it took. So if you have a document scanner, that can make it easy. If not, your smartphone will work great. There's several apps that can help you do this. They just turn your pictures. You take a picture of the document, and it'll turn it into a PDF file. I use Genius Scan on an iPhone, and it works really well. I don't know if they have an app on the Android version. They probably do. And if not, like I said, there's lots of them out there. Genius Scan was free, so hopefully you have a free one. But it does a really nice job, and so that's a really good way to convert your work into a PDF file. Okay, so you'll have instructions on here. This is an example from an old from another semester. So read the instructions. Make sure you pay attention to the instructions. Like I said, be very, very diligent about showing every little step. Justify everything. And then when you're done, you're going to take pictures of everything, convert it to a PDF file, and then that's what you submit, that single PDF file. I want two things. So the primary way in which I'm going to receive your work is that if you go to modules, the first one was to get the test, and then right next to it, it's like a little Dropbox, a way for you to deliver the work to me. So you click onto here, and then that's when you upload. It'll give you the opportunity to upload the PDF document. It's one single PDF document with your answers. And then you're going to do the same thing with homework. You click over here, and then that homework set, whatever we're being tested on. So let's say test 1 is on chapter 7, right? I'll give you a schedule of what we're going to be doing. But let's just say test 1 is on chapter 7. Then that means that all the homework from chapter 7 is due at the same time that you submit your test. Okay, so you submit your test and you submit your homework if you want to submit it for credit, right? And you're going to do the same thing where you take pictures and convert your homework into PDFs. Now, I'm a little less strict about a single PDF file for the homework because there probably will be lots and lots of pages. So it wouldn't make sense to have one single giant PDF file. So if you want to do 2 or 3 or 4, that's fine. Just make sure you are clearly label the files. So it's a little less difficult for me to go through the homework that way. But I do want one single PDF file for the exam. Okay, so hopefully that's clear on how I will receive your test. The tests should take about 2 hours. When I'm writing them, I'm thinking it should take you about 2 hours to complete them, but you will be given a 24-hour window of opportunity to find those 2 hours to do it. Okay, so all right. So now the other thing though is that from time to time I get problems. People upload their PDF file to here, and for some reason it's corrupted or something. I can't open it. So there's a backup here, a backup system here. When you finish your test, and this is just for the test, not for the homework. When you finish your test, send me the pictures, the original pictures, to this Gmail account. Right? Gmail gives you a nice big server, so I can just take as many pictures as I need, and it doesn't fill up my box. So just take the pictures and send me the pictures to Gmail. And I probably won't look at them. That's just the backup. I still expect you to do the one single PDF file thing and submit it that way. That's the easiest way for me to receive your exam and to grade it. But if there's a problem, like if the file was corrupted, I can't open it, I don't know, something like that, then I will go over to the backup and go over to the Gmail account, search for the pictures that you sent, and that way I can still receive your exam on time. Because once those 24-hour window, closes, then it's late and I don't receive late work. Okay, so it's up to you to make sure that things are done well and that you complete your work and you submit it on time. Okay, hopefully I've answered all your questions, anything and everything you ever wanted to know about the exams. If there is anything I didn't answer, again, send me an email to that to the school email account, and hopefully I can address your questions. Let's keep going. What have I talked about? I talked about the syllabus, the Canvas, anything else from here? I will ask you to log into Canvas at least once now in the next few days so that I know that you're an active participant in the class. Every semester, there's one or two of you guys that just kind of ghost me for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then come to realize you didn't even know you were in the class, or you're no longer interested in the class, whatever. I need to know that you're actively pursuing this class early on, so that I can see if someone is not logging in, they're not answering my emails, that I can drop them and let somebody that's on the wait list add the class. Okay, so please just log into Canvas, poke around, maybe download that syllabus. That's enough for the system to register that you're an active participant, and that you're interested in moving forward with the class. If you don't do that, then expect some emails from me asking if you're interested in pursuing the class, because otherwise it's going to be several weeks before we take our first exam. I'll post a schedule, a tentative schedule here in the announcements soon. That's on my to-do list. But it's going to be until like week 4 or 5 that we have our first exam. So it's quite possible that someone is enrolled in this class and they don't log into here and I never hear from them. And then week 5, we have our test. And then by the time I return the test and I see that somebody didn't turn in the test, we're really looking at week 7 or 8 before I'm, wondering who this person is and why they enrolled in here. And that's already halfway through the semester. So that causes me problems. There's people trying to add the class that would want to take your space, and also it costs, creates problems for those students that are accidentally enrolled in here. Costs money, it stays on your record, and just too many problems. Okay, so just log in, play around a little bit, let the system know that you're active, and that'll be useful. Okay. I think I've answered all the questions about Canvas. Okay, so now the videos. All the videos are going to be on YouTube. So just go to YouTube. So it's a little unfair because I'm logged in, but it should still work for you. Just type in my name, Eduardo Barajas, and I'm famous enough to own my name or get close to the top. So this is me, the one with a little circle standing next to a statue, a, a rock statue thing that was carved out. So click on to my account. Here's my account, and you're gonna go over to where it says playlists. Playlists. And then we are Math 191, Calculus 2. I would suggest that you click the Play All. Let's put a pause on there. Okay, so depending on your own settings for YouTube, this hopefully is what you'll get. So you have a little list over here of all the videos. These are the videos for our class. They're broken down by days here. So day 1, day 2, day 3. It's just to keep you organized as to where you sort of are. We're going to start off with a chapter 3 review, which is on derivatives. And then we're going to move on to chapter 3/chapter 5 review, which is chapter 5 is a review of integrals. And then in this class, we're going to start in chapter 7. So that's really the new material for this class, chapter 7. We're going to do chapter 7, and then we're going to come back to chapter 6, and then we're going to skip on, so here, this will keep you on track. But the chunk of the material that we're going to do in this class is chapters 7, chapter 6, and chapter 11. And then as time permits, we're going to do a few other little things from some of the other chapters. But those are the 3 main chapters that we really have to cover in this class. Okay, so all the videos are going to be on here. And then this video that I'm recording right now will make its way onto here. It'll be class info day 1, something like that. It'll be at the top, and it'll be this recording that you're watching right now. This recording, as you will soon note, I'll be sending it. I'll be sending a link to this recording to your email account, and I'll also post it onto the Canvas account. But the other ones, you're not going to receive any kind of email or anything. You have to know to come to here, come to my playlists, make sure that you're in the right one, Calculus 2, Math 191, and then start watching the videos. You can watch them at your own pace, and keep on track of where you should be. Okay. If you want to do the add thing, I don't know where it is, but like add yourself to the playlist or something. That'll make it a little bit easier if you create an account with Google and add yourself to it. It'll make it a little bit easier. I will warn though that if you decide to become a subscriber and join the playlist thing here, you will be getting announcements when I upload anything. And I teach Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Business Calculus, and as I'm uploading different videos, you'll be getting notices for everything. So that's been an issue in the last couple of semesters where I'm uploading something for Business Calculus, and then Calculus 2 people don't realize that video isn't meant for them, and then all of a sudden there's just miscommunication. Right? They get bad information about when exams are going to be and what homework is due and things like that. So just be careful that if you do join and makes it easier to come back here and find me. But at the same time, when you get notices, just pay attention to the title of the video. All of yours will start off with saying Calculus 2. So make sure that that's a video intended for you. Okay, I think I've covered all the basics for now. If there's something I've missed, please send me an email and I will either respond to the email, or maybe there's something important everyone needs to know, so I'll come back and create another video and post it on here. Okay,